Cheers to anyone with their ears on. Mind you, don't put the hammer down around the chicken coop on I-65 southbound. There, you got a smoky there with an X-ray. This here's the Big Red Rider. I'm Timmy Toll paying the Bears in on I-74 West. Come on back.
Previously. Can I say that again? Previously on The Ford Show.
So you are a cis man, Ford.
Oh, okay.
Madness is a cis man. Where you're not male or you're not male anymore. You're a cis male.
So spell that again.
CIS
Okay.
dash.
So that's
male.
what that means, because I've seen libs of TikTok, post these videos of these people with these mental illnesses talking like this, and they're cis and cis and cis this and cis that, and I always wondered, what the hell is a cis? Am I a cis? And I guess I'm a cis.
So yeah. So then I'm
gonna write this down.
Yeah, cis male. So or female in this case.
CIS.
CIS.
Okay.
Yes, cis.
You're a cis, but you always be my bro.
Yes.
Where's my dad? There it is.
Waiting for it.
I was waiting for the dad joke one, but whatever.
Yeah, you're right. I should have gave you. You're right. I fucked up on that one. That one's
I
on
set
me.
you up. I set you
I
up
know.
with that soundbite, and you fucked it up.
That one's for me.
I'll wear some.
Okay.
I'll wear some New Balances next week.
Welcome to the Ford Show. We are live. We are all the way live right now on YouTube. We are on TuneIn this week again, as we were last week. For a special tonight, we're on YouTube. We are also on Rumble Live, and we are going to cover. We're going to cover the presidential debate. Some call it the race to the bottom. We're going to cover that tonight. We're going to go in and out to some audio on that deal. And we're live here. This is the Ford Show. I'm Ford. I'm joined by the incomparable, the one, the only, Madness.
Yo, you dragged me into this political thing. I have been pretty quiet about this sort of stuff lately because I've seen the divisiveness that ensues. But here we go. I'm ready.
And Joey Vegas is here as well. Joey Vegas.
Yeah, you haven't stopped talking about the political aspects there.
So we have a brand new call-in number. That's right. You can call the show. You can call us. So, he can hear. You can hear his echo. Is that what you just said, Madness? Madness, you could talk about this.
Yeah, I can hear your echoing a little bit there, Joey Vegas. It sounds as if you look like you're in a really nice home, but you actually sounds like you're in a cave. You remind me of the sound that was used in the Return to Oz film. Very creepy, very echoey, very dark.
You know what, Vegas, do this. Turn that microphone all the way down, and then just start using the other one.
I thought you were going to say turn it all the way down and shove it up your ass.
Shut up.
Ew,
Turn it down and
fired.
Shut up.
It's all shit.
You know what would be cool if the moderator for this debate was Vince McMahon?
You could still hear echo?
Yeah, I can hear.
Well, how come that microphone? Oh, you know what? How come that microphone's not on?
Why don't we get to the debate?
Yeah, we should do that. We should do the debate.
We're already 20 minutes behind.
While we try to figure this, while we try to live troubleshoot.
Yeah.
Joey
Sorry,
Vegas.
everyone.
Stand by. We'll stand by. Listen to that. We have to do audio only because CNN threatened to kick everyone off the air. So let's go to this right now. We'll go to this right now. This is the presidential debate. Donald Trump, Joe Biden hammering it out. That's not playing. The debate's not playing.
No, we should probably abandon this here.
We're dead silent?
Yeah,
Oh my
there's
God.
nothing, dude.
Hold
We gotta
on.
get out. I'm out of this one. Come on, let's get out of
All
here.
right, we'll
guys.
see you later, Madness. I'm going to keep rolling with it. It is what it is. Shit happens. All you got to do is do that. All you got to do is do this. It's an easy fix.
No circumstance where they could come across the border.
There it
with
is.
The number of border police.
You
there
see
are
how
now.
that works?
We significantly increased the number of asylum officers.
Now everybody
Significantly-
hears the
By the way,
audio.
the Border Patrol endorsed my position. In addition to that, we find ourselves in a
And
situation
we're gonna-
where when he was
we're gonna
president,
roll
he was
the
taking,
dice.
separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages, making sure they were the
You can hear it now, right, Vegas? Yeah.
what I've done since I've
There we go.
changed the law.
I
what's
fixed it,
happened,
baby.
I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we had the safest border in the history of our country. The border, all he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave it. He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylum, terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country right
that
now,
should fix
all
that
terrorists, all over the world, not just in South America, all over the world. They come from the Middle East, everywhere. All over the world, they're pouring in. And this guy just left it open. And he didn't need legislation because I didn't have legislation. I said, close the border. We had the safest border in history. In that final couple of months of my
All right, we have
presidency,
fixed.
we had,
We have
according to Border
fixed
Patrol, who is great. And by
the
the way,
issue.
who
Vegas,
endorsed
you're
me
here,
for
right?
president, but
I am
won't say
here.
that.
Okay.
They endorsed me for president.
See that?
Brandon,
I just hear it in
speak
my
to
head, but that's the way it
look,
is.
We had the safest border in
You just hear
history.
what in your
Now
head?
we have the worst border in history.
Me
There's
talking.
never been anything like
Oh.
it. And people are dying all over the place, including
That
the people that are coming
is-
up in
Thank you, President
caravans.
Trump. President Biden?
Trying to think how I can
The only
fix that.
terrorist who's done anything crossing the border
That
is one who came along and killed three
is-
under administration, killed an Al Qaeda person coming in.
Oh, you know what? I could fix that. I know how to fix that. Let's go back to
American soldiers.
the
Killed
debate
three
here
debate.
while I
That's
troubleshoot
the only
Joey Vegas.
terrorist
Stand
that's
by.
there. I'm not saying that no terrorist ever got through, but the idea they're emptying their prisons, we're welcoming these people, that's simply not true. There's no data to support what he said. Once again, he's exaggerating, he's lying.
President Trump, staying on the topic of immigration, you've said that you're going to carry out, quote, the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, unquote. Does that mean that you will deport every undocumented immigrant in America, including those who have jobs, including those whose spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived here for decades? And if so, how will you do it?
Just 1 second. He said we killed 3 people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the 2 greatest terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere in the world. And it had a huge impact on everything, not just border, on everything. He's the one that killed people with the bad water, including hundreds of thousands of people dying and also killing our citizens when they come in. We are living right now in a rat's nest. They're killing our people in New York, in California, in every state in the union because we don't have borders anymore. Every state is now a border. And because of his ridiculous, insane, and very stupid policies, people are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime. They're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen before. And you're reading it like these 3 incredible young girls over the last few days. One of them, I just spoke to the mother, and they just had the funeral for this girl, 12 years old. This is horrible what's taken place. What's taken place in our country, we're literally an uncivilized country now. He doesn't want it to be. He just doesn't know. He opened the borders. Nobody's ever seen anything like. And we have to get a lot of these people out, and we have to get them out fast because they're going to destroy our country. Just take a look at where they're living. They're living in luxury hotels in New York City and other places. our veterans are on the street. They're dying because he doesn't care about our veterans.
Biden
He
looks
doesn't
like
care.
he's
He doesn't
dying.
like
All
the
right. Well,
military at
Biden looks
all.
like he's.
And he doesn't care about our veterans. Nobody but worse.
He
I have
looks
the
like,
highest approval rating for veterans taking care of
He
the
looks like he
VA.
died a couple
He
weeks
has the
ago.
worst. He's
Can
gotten
you
rid
hear
of
me,
all
though?
the things
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I
yeah,
had
you
Oh, okay,
good.
good. Okay, good. Because
that
I don't
got
hear
through
myself, so
Congress.
that's good.
All
We're
of the different
progressing
things
forward
I
here.
approved.
Yeah,
They
I think
abandoned.
I think I've
We
I
had
got
by
I think
far
I
the highest,
found
and now it's down in less
I
than
think I
half
figured out
because he's done
a
all these great things that we
workaround
did.
here
And I think he did it just because
with
I
with
approved
all
it.
of this. So there we go.
I don't hear the debate now.
I turned it off.
Oh, you turned it off? Oh,
Yeah,
well, you didn't
okay,
say
I
I'm turning the
turned it
debate
off.
off. You didn't say,
I
hey, I'm turning the
turned it
debate
off.
off. I don't know.
I have new stuff to promote here. We got new audio to promote.
Call Ford now. 855-499-FORD.
Hello, can you hear me?
All right. There you go. You give us a call, 855-499-FORD. We're taking your calls all over the country. I guess you could call all over the world. I guess we're live right now on TuneIn. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Rumble. We had a little glitch in the system there in the beginning. My apologies. Vegas, should I leave all of this in the podcast? I should leave all that in the podcast because it really wasn't that big of a deal. I know Madness ran out of here. As soon as anything goes wrong, he's out of here. You just gotta breathe for a moment. Do a breathing exercise. Ford's gonna figure it out. He's been doing this since 2007, and we figured it out. We got it dialed in.
At least right now we did.
Yeah,
We're good.
I think we're
Super.
good.
Ready to go.
So yeah, we're gonna do some debate stuff. We're gonna go in and out on the debate. I don't want to. You know, it's like
Isn't it almost over? Because didn't it start at like 5?
no, it didn't start until it started later. It started at 8:00 Central, 9:00 East.
Oh, so it's about 28 minutes in then. I've heard Biden's already made quite a few claims that he did mention that no servicemen have died under his watch. Yet I think he forgets those 13 Americans that died, the soldiers that died when he pulled out of Afghanistan. Those I guess don't count.
Yeah, no. I was going to ask who is going to lie more tonight? Is it going to be, because you know both of them are going to fucking lie, okay? I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, Trump, MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. They're both going to lie. Both of these guys are going to lie, and they're going to lie their asses off tonight. I was wondering who we thought was going to lie more. Now, I know neither one of us has watched this, and this is something that we could probably figure out. Maybe one of those websites that is still right down the center will add up and tally the lies for us at some point. But who do you think is going to lie more tonight, Joey Vegas? You think Trump's going to lie more or Joe Biden?
Oh, I would say Joe Biden.
Okay.
Because
I would probably say, too, just because he's the incumbent. I feel like the incumbent will get put on blast more.
Well, yeah, because the economy and everything, like, what's he going to say? He can't say the economy's doing well because it's not.
Yeah.
He can't say that, he didn't start any new wars because, well, I mean, I guess theoretically he didn't start them, but new wars have happened in his presidency around the world. I mean, I don't know what he could say that would be the truth. Trump can, lie, maybe stretch the truth, maybe fudge some numbers, stuff like that. But I don't think, he can't lie. He's not going to lie about the state of the union, so to speak, of America.
I have given up bottled water because of microplastics being found in our testicles and in our underwear. No, you didn't hear about this?
Oh, my God.
No, this is real. You didn't hear about this.
That's fine.
Have you heard about this study?
Yes, I've heard about microplastics.
Okay. But did you hear about the latest study that has them mostly in our ball sack and in our underwear? Did you hear about this or no?
No, haven't heard about this.
No, this is real. I know you think I'm.
No, I believe it's.
I'm like,
I
like
believe
a tin
it's real,
hat kind of guy. You think I'm like tin hat in this thing?
But I'm not going to not drink bottled water because there are some good bottled waters, very good.
So, this says here, microplastics found in testicles and blood clots, sparking more health concerns.
Is this study sponsored by liquid death or any water that's in cans.
3 recent studies highlight the dangers of nanoplastics to health. Now, this study was from the end of May. It came out. This was in the New York Post. I'm not making this up. Microplastics are making their way into various parts of humans and animals' bodies, including the testes, according to a study published last week in the Toxicological Sciences. This has dangerous implications for both male sperm quality and fertility. Now, I don't need quality sperm because I have a vasectomy, but I still don't want microplastics in my testicles. So now I drink this still water, for those of you watching on YouTube and Rumble. Still water, it's in a can. I'm doing my LGBTQA plus due diligence. The owners are a couple of dykes, a couple of lesbians. So I'm doing good by them. They're a little like mom and pop shop. And this is a subscription, Vegas. I have a subscription now to water in a can. Your thoughts?
You're stupid.
There we go. Now now with friends like him, you know, who needs enemies? Am I right? Who needs enemies? Let's go back to speaking of enemies and friends. Let's go back to Trump and Joe Biden, the presidential debate happening right now.
500,000 troops.
President Trump,
I
as
never
come back
said
to you
that.
for 1 minute, I just want to go back to my original question, which is, are Putin's terms acceptable to you? Keeping the
No, they're
territory
not
in Ukraine?
acceptable. No, they're not acceptable. But look, this is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in this war, he led everybody along. He's given $200 billion now or more.
Look at that look on Joe's face. Is that not the lights are on, but just there's nobody home?
I don't know if he's having a stroke right now.
I mean, it's almost, you almost start to feel bad.
I do.
Would you let your grandfather, like my grandpa, is losing it. And the last thing I would want him to do is to strut his ass out onto cable TV with the world watching. And he is looking like the wheels are turning. But dude, there are no workers in there right now. Look at that brain. There is no one on the clock. They've all punched out. You know, like those little guys that are throwing the coal
Yes.
into the engine?
Yes.
They're there, but they have no shovels and they are on strike.
He wants to reestablish what was part of the Soviet Empire, not just a piece. He wants all of Ukraine. That's what he wants. And then you think he'll stop there? Do you think he'll stop when if he takes Ukraine? What do you think happens to Poland? What do you think of Belarus? What do you think happens to those NATO countries? And so if you want a war, you ought to find out what he's going to do, because if in fact he does what he says and walks away, and by the way, all that money we give Ukraine are from weapons we make here in the United States. We give them the weapons, not the money at this point. And our NATO allies have produced as much funding for Ukraine as we have. That's why we're strong.
Thank you. Moving on to the Middle East. In October, Hamas attacked Israel, killing more than 1,000 people and taking hundreds of hostages. Among those held and thought to still be alive are 5 Americans. Israel's response has killed thousands of Palestinians and created a humanitarian crisis in Gaza.
My apologies.
President Biden, you've put forward a proposal to resolve this conflict, but so far Hamas has not released the remaining hostages, and Israel is continuing its military offensive in Gaza. So what additional leverage will you use?
So can I just throw in here that Trump does not sound like he's been shot out of a cannon tonight. He seems very controlled.
Security Council.
Right?
That's what he needed to be.
Yeah, he feels very controlled here, not shot out of a cannon. They're not insulting each other, at least not yet. At least we haven't heard it.
Trade the hostages for a ceasefire. Second,
they call him Uncle Joe, but he's past uncle. He's grandpa.
I mean, he's crypt keeper almost.
He's great grandpa.
Yeah.
number one, they're the only ones standing out. We're still pushing hard to get them to accept. In the meantime, what's happened in Israel, we're finding that the only thing I've denied Israel was 2,000-pound bombs. They don't work very well in populated areas. They kill a lot of innocent people. We're providing Israel with all the weapons they need and when they need them. And by the way, I'm the guy that organized the world against Iran when they had a full-blown intercontinental ballistic missile attack on Israel. No one.
We also have Rage and Rob coming up. We're taking your calls. Tell us what you think. Trump, Biden, who are you voting for? I guess it's never too early to ask. 855-499-FORD. You can give us a call. Let us know what you think about this. If you're watching this right now, what's going through your mind? What are you thinking about?
As to how they can get Hamas like we did bin Laden. You don't have to do it. And by the way, they've been greatly weakened, Hamas, greatly weakened, and they should be. They should be eliminated. But you've got to be careful for using certain weapons among population centers.
Just going back to Ukraine for 1 second.
That was the period? Didn't sound like a period.
We have an ocean separating us. The European nations together have spent $100 billion, or maybe more than that, less than us. Why doesn't he call them and say, you got to put up your money like I did with NATO? I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars as Secretary General of NATO. So Trump did the most incredible.
The looks on his face when he's not talking.
Oh, look at him.
They were going out of business. We were spending almost 100% of the money was paid by us. He didn't do that. He's getting all, you got to ask these people to put up the money. We're over $100 billion more spent, and it has a bigger impact on them because of location, because we have an ocean in between. You got to ask them. As far as Israel and Hamas, Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one that wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
Wow.
President Biden, you have a minute.
I've never heard so much foolishness. This is a guy who wants to get out of NATO. You're going to stay in NATO? He's going to pull out of NATO. The idea that we have, our strength lies in our alliances as well. It may be a big ocean, but are we ever able to avoid a war in Europe, a major war in Europe? What happens if, in fact, you have Putin continue to go into...
Now, how many of these are they doing?
Two or three?
You want to start.
They did 3 last time.
I think they're doing 2 right now.
Go in and control Ukraine,
All right.
and then move on to Poland and other places. See what happens.
Great Grandpa Joe
He has
here.
No idea what the hell he's
But
talking about.
the funny thing is,
By the way, I
they're
got
both
50
very
other
similar in
nations
age.
around
I don't know
the
their
world
exact ages, but
supporting
they're very
Ukraine.
similar. But
And
Trump
in South
doesn't
Korea,
act like an old
because they have
person.
a
Yes,
No.
he looks a little older now.
Yeah, well, that
But-
happens.
Yeah, that happens. But Biden is almost dead. But Trump just seems like, he's got more wits about him.
Yeah, he seems like he's more... He definitely feels like he's more on top of it, for sure.
Palestinian state in order to achieve peace in the region.
For
I
sure.
have to see, but before we do that, the problem we have is that we spend all the money. So they kill us on trade. I made great trade deals with the European nations because if you add them up, they're about the same size economically. Their economy is about the same size as the United States.
So is it,
and they were no cars.
Is it true that they did a coin flip? Who got to choose who would talk last, or who would choose what side they were on?
That I don't know.
No, this is what I heard. You can look this up for me.
Okay.
But I believe Biden won the coin toss, and he chose to stand on the right side because the Americans watching TV their eyes are more trained to go to the right. And now Trump gets the last word in tonight, which feels kind of dangerous if we're being intellectually honest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's hear this. Here we go.
Action on January 6th and worried that you'll do it again.
Well, I don't think too many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th. On January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people. What happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible.
He's not answering
including
the question, I will
weaponization,
say
which I'm
that.
sure at some point you'll
Not
be
yet.
talking about.
Yeah, he hasn't answered
where he
it
goes
yet.
after his political opponent because he can't beat him fair and square.
You have 80 seconds left. My question was, what do
Yeah,
you say to those voters who believe that you violated
He
the
didn't answer it.
constitutional oath through your actions and inaction on January 6, 2021, and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I didn't say that to anybody. I said peacefully and patriotically. And Nancy Pelosi, if you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, they say, but she's saying, oh, no, it's my responsibility. I was responsible for this. Because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down. And the mayor in writing, by the way, the mayor, in writing, turned it down, the mayor of D.C. They turned it down. I offered 10,000 because I could see, I had virtually nothing to do. They asked me to go make a speech. I could see what was happening. Everybody was saying they're going to be there on January 6th. They're going to be there. And I said, you know what? There's a lot of people coming. You could feel it. You could feel it too, and you could feel it. And I said, they ought to have some National Guard or whatever. And I offered it to her. And she now admits that she turned it down. And it was the same day she was, I don't know, she can't be very happy with her daughter because it made her into a liar. She said, I take full responsibility for January 6th.
President Biden?
Look, he encouraged
Now, is that true?
I don't know about
Okay.
Nancy Pelosi.
Okay.
I
office. He
can't say
sat there
for sure.
3 hours watching, being begged by his vice president and a number of his colleagues on the Republican side as well to do something, to call for a stop, to end it. Instead, they talked about these people being patriots and great patrons of America. In fact, he says he'll now forgive them for what they've done. They've been convicted. He says he wants to commute their sentences and say that no. But he went to every single court in the nation. I don't know how many cases, scores of cases, including the Supreme Court, and they said, no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done. He did do a damn thing.
Oh.
And these people should be in jail.
Oh.
And they should be the ones who are
The kids
being
are
held
watching,
accountable.
Uncle Grandpa
He
Joe.
wants to let them all out.
Great Grandpa.
And now he says if he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that it could be a bloodbath.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
What they've done to some people that are so innocent, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What you have done, how you've destroyed the lives of so many people. When they ripped down Portland, when they ripped down many other cities, you go to Minnesota, Minneapolis, what they've done there with the fires all over the city. If I didn't bring in the National Guard, that city would have been destroyed. When you look at all of they took over big chunks of Seattle. I was all set to bring in the National Guard. They heard that. They saw them coming, and they left immediately. What he said about this whole subject is so off. Peacefully patriotic. One other thing. The Unselect Committee, which is basically two horrible Republicans that are all gone now, out of office, and Democrats, all Democrats.
Are those called rhinos?
They destroyed
Yes.
Okay.
and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right.
Republican
and
in
they
name
deleted
only.
and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that, they'd go to jail.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, I want to give you a minute.
So
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at.
there it is. There
And
it
the fact of
is.
the matter is, he is.
There it is.
What he's telling
Yes, but even Andrew Cuomo says if it was anybody else but Trump,
They
they
would've got
never. It never happened.
Capitol Hill and all those.
But you knew he had to throw that line in there. It's a
Yep.
little early. I feel. I
Yeah.
feel it's
The
a little
idea
early.
that-
I feel like you should have thrown that line in right before Trump speaks last.
Yeah.
You know, he should have been like, I will now give the felon the floor. You know what I'm saying? You could have hit him with that.
Yeah.
When I asked him those first two debates we had, first time around, I said, will you denounce the Proud Boys? He said, no, I'll tell them to stand by. The idea he's refusing to
God,
denounce
he's
these
saying
guys?
this. Biden's
We
saying the
denounce the
same
people we're
thing
talking
that
about
they've
now?
been
Playing the
repeating
greatest
for
hits.
4
Denounce the
years.
people who
He's playing the
attack
greatest
that
hits, baby.
Capitol.
Because that's all they have.
What are you
Because
gonna do?
he can't talk about how
I'm
great
going
the
to give
economy
you
is or how great everybody's
minute,
doing.
President
because they're
Trump,
not.
for a follow-up question I have. After a jury convicted you of 34 felonies last month, you said if reelected, you would, quote, have every right to go after, unquote, your political opponents. You just talked about members of the Select Committee on January 6th going to jail. Your main political opponent is standing on stage with you tonight. Can you clarify exactly what it means about you feeling you have every right to go after your political opponents?
Well, I said my retribution is going to be success. We're going to make this country successful again, because right now it's a failing nation. My retribution is going to be success. But when he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon at a very high level. His son is convicted. Going to be convicted probably numerous other times. Should have been convicted before, but his Justice Department let the statute of limitations lapse on the most important things. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all of the things that he's done. He's done horrible things. All of the death caused at the border. Telling the Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion or you change the prosecutor. Otherwise, you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo. That we're not going to do anything. We're not going to give you $1 billion unless you change your prosecutor, having to do with the son. This man is a criminal. This man, you're lucky. You're lucky. I did nothing wrong. We'd have a system that was rigged and disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, I'm coming right to you, sir. You want to respond? Go ahead. I'll give you a minute to respond.
Oh, they're going to give the old man.
The idea
Okay, here we go.
that I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous. It's simply a lie, number one.
That's a lie.
Number two, the idea that you have a right to seek retribution against any American just because you're president is wrong. It's simply wrong. No president's ever spoken like that before. No president in our history has spoken like that before. Number three, the crimes that you are still charged with, and think of all the civil penalties.
We actually,
how many
hold on.
billions of dollars do you?
Hold on. Let's see here. Let's see. You know what? Hold on 1 second. Hold on. 562. We got a 562. Stand by. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Hold on, 562. Hold on.
I didn't have sex with a porn star, number one. Number two, that was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official, a DOJ, into the Manhattan DA's office to start that case. That case is going to be appealed and won.
All right.
We had a very...
562. You're live. Can you
Hola, señor Ford. Estoy aquí.
Hold on, 562. Can you turn down your audio?
Okay. Hold on. Okay, bueno. Okay, hold on. Okay.
Vegas, I knew this was going to happen.
Señor Ford.
Yes, 562.
I'm here. Okay.
Yeah.
Sí. Okay, sí. Bueno, okay, señor Ford. Hola, first time caller. I'm a long time listener, and pues I was listening to the show. I want to talk about, este pinche mentiras que este pinche Biden está diciendo, the lies he's saying. I want to talk about. Okay, I mean it. Okay.
Yeah. So the Joe Biden's lies.
Sí, este pinche viejo está diciendo, he's saying que Trump is all his fault, and enero is the January 6, y este pinche pelona Pelosi said in the video, I saw in the video, okay, my niece, she told me, very smart in colegio, she told me on the video where Pelosi she say, it's my fault. I not have the police, the guards on the show, and enero 6, it's my fault. Y están diciendo that is Trump's fault. Señor Ford, I come here, okay, 20 years with 12. He said, I have 12 in my pocket, okay.
Okay. 12. Do you have $12 in your pocket?
When I came here, see.
Okay, pesos.
And it's not easy. It's not easy, okay. I come here, it's hard, okay. So when este pinche Biden lets all, when I come here, I come here in back of, okay, I come here the right way, okay.
He almost told us the real way, Vegas. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You came here in the back of a packed truck. Go ahead.
No. Okay, it take me a long time to get here. Okay, long time. To see him. Oh, I see in the YouTube. Okay, they interview these people. Okay, they interview these people. Either CNN, the MSN, the NBMSC, they see all. Now they have everybody. I go to my hometown in Chihuahua. You don't see no Mexicano. You see Arabes, Negros, Asianos, get from all over the place, okay? Y este pinche Biden, no, he no say the truth, okay? So I can vote, okay? Y yo voy a votar por el Trump for the third time, okay? It makes me sick to see the lies on here, okay? I come here with $12 in my pocket. It's the shit that he coming out of his mouth. I know can take no more. I vote para Trump, toda mi familia, toda la raza, con todo con los miedo, este pinche old man, okay, yo voy a votar por Trump, okay, I can't take it no more, okay? So I have to say, Señor Ford, gracias. I keep listening, okay? I give you like, okay. I do the, okay, and thank you so much, pero it's lies that he's saying, okay?
Yeah.
They have, okay?
Okay.
Mi esposa, okay, okay, bye.
Okay.
He just called you a perro. He called you a dog.
And he hung up.
Yeah. He said, pinche perro.
I honestly was not expecting to have to play this tonight, and already one night into calls.
He thought it would be just another phone call. He's entering the world of fiber optics. Fiber optics. The fifth dimension is up ahead. Ford has just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program to bring you a special bulletin.
Listen up. It's time for Ragin' Rob's Music Minute.
You do want to be a part of that, don't you?
Do you hear an echo?
This is Ragin' Rob's Music Minute. All right, this week we're starting off with Sheryl
Do you hear
Crow
an
dissing
echo?
Drake.
No.
That's right. Sheryl Crow's not happy about Drake using an AI-generated voice of Tupac on his song Tailor Made Freestyle. We all know Drake, or anybody with a brain knows Drake. He uses computerized voice for everything. His whole act is fake voice because he can't sing, he can't rap. But anyways, even Tupac's estate has threatened legal action against Drake. It's bullshit. Why are you doing it, Drake? But I know why, because you're a fake-ass piece of shit. Also, Billy Ray Cyrus has filed for divorce from his wife, Fire Rose. The two wed in October 2023, and it was a wholly beautiful matrimony, apparently. Cyrus cites being verbally, physically, and emotionally abused. So sad. Shifty Shellshock, frontman of the one-hit wonder band Crazy Town, passed away in his home at the age of 49. Apparently, it was an accidental drug overdose. Very sad. Hope he rests easy with his butterfly sugar baby. And if you're interested, the BET Music Awards are this Sunday, June 30th on BET, with amazing performances by Ice Spice, Tyla, Lauryn Hill, Glorilla, and Sexy Red. Hey, don't miss that. This has been your Music Minute. Fucking rage.
We now return to the Fort Show.
All right, thank you for that. We're live right now on TuneIn. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Rumble. Let's get back to, let's check in on the presidential debate, the first presidential debate. Oh, they're on break right now. They're on break right now.
Is Joe getting another shot?
Yeah, they got to. He's running low on fuel.
Yeah.
Somebody jack him up. All right, let's talk. We all know this girl right here. We all know this chick. This girl right here.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
Yeah. Joey Vegas, I actually ordered a hawk to a hat.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
And she has sold more than $65,000 in merch. In wake of this,
oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
I gave $32 of that $65,000. The young woman who shot to fame as the Hawk Tua and spit on that thing, girl, thanks to an X-rated interview, has already sold more than $65,000 worth of merchandise. Haley Welch went viral earlier this month when she shared her explicit thoughts on oral sex. during a woman on the street spot with Tim and DTV, and is now selling branded hats to a Tennessee-based apparel company, Fathead Threads. The brand has already sold more than 2,000 Haktua 24 hats, the owner has told the Rolling Stone magazine. At $32.78 a hat, that's what I paid, or $50 for the sold-out signed version. The time has come, the total rather comes to at least $65,000. Of course, she hasn't gotten a dime from the first viral video that went out. The owner told the owner said of Welch, whom he claimed he has known for years. Nobody was asking permission for her to do anything. Neither. I just wanted to get some profit off this deal, he said. Welch is overwhelmed by her newfound fame and requested that Poteet not divulge any personal information about her or feature her face on the merch. Our largest orders are usually around 100 hats, maybe 150 to 250 shirts. This is way out of the norm for us. This is a small family-owned shop. We're all hands on deck right now. He declined to say what percentage of the profits Welch is receiving. Welch, who was initially rumored to have signed with the Hollywood United Talent Agency, is also working on trademarking her now infamous phrase.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
So there you go.
She's probably getting like 2% of like this guy's total. Just by the way this guy sounds, he sounds like a douchebag.
Well, no, he's an old man. I'm going to show you right here. Here he is.
Yeah, I know. I've seen him. He's a douchebag.
Wow.
And
so she's got to be getting more than 2%.
Oh, well, I know. She's definitely getting more. But definitely, he's like, I just wanted to cash in. So he wanted to cash in. He was starting to do this before anything ever happened. He just felt like maybe he should probably get her, her input.
I mean, some people were shocked that it was that low. But 65, listen, even if she splits it with this guy, a 60-40, that's still a pretty good payday for just this.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
Like, that's still a pretty good payday.
Yeah.
If she splits it 60-40, she's getting $26,000 off that deal.
So far.
That's a pretty good pay so far. And she got my money. I bought a hat. I'll wear it on this show as soon as it gets here.
Yeah.
Let's check in on sleepy great grandpa Joe and Donald Trump, the first presidential debate. We're live right now on TuneIn. Thank you for being here. We're live on YouTube and Rumble. Thank you all for being here, listening on the podcast, wherever whenever you may be listening. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
Ed, he caused the inflation, and it's killing black families and Hispanic families and just about everybody. It's killing people. They
it's
can't
funny. We
buy
just had a
groceries
Hispanic
anymore. They
call
can't-
into this
you
show.
look at the cost of food, where it's doubled and tripled and quadrupled.
I didn't get. Did we get his name?
No.
We didn't even get his name.
No, 562. I don't know.
He just went on a rant.
Yeah, I didn't hear his name. I didn't hear nothing. I didn't even really understand him most of the time, to be honest.
Well, that's racist.
He destroyed
No,
it with
it's
his
not.
Green News scam. And
I
all
didn't
of the
understand
other-
him.
All this money that's being thrown
Well,
out
hopefully
the window.
562 will call back in a later time so we can get his name so we can start referring to him by his name.
The fact is that his big kill on the black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking black jobs now, and it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but...
There you go. I was just going to say, can Joe close his mouth?
Yeah,
He's
he's
just
catching flies.
There was no inflation when I became president. You know why? The economy was flat on its back. 15% unemployment. He decimated the economy. Absolutely decimated the economy. That's why there was no inflation at the time. There were no jobs. We provided thousands of millions of jobs for individuals.
No, you
Who were
didn't.
in all communities, including
Don't
minority
let him talk.
communities. We made sure that they have health insurance.
Let him talk, Joey
we
Vegas.
have covered. The ACA has increased. I made sure that there are $8,000 per person in a family.
I like how I said
get written
thousands
off
of
for
millions.
health care. But this guy wants to eliminate that. They tried 50 times. He wants to get rid of the ACA again, and they're going to try again if they win. You find ourselves in a position where the idea that we're not doing anything, We put more police on the street than any administration has. He wants to cut the cops. We're providing for equity and making sure people have a shot to make it. There's a lot going on, but in inflation, he caused it by his tremendous malfeasance in the way he handled the pandemic.
Thank you. Another persistent challenge is the climate crisis. 2023 was the hottest year in recorded history, and communities across the country are confronting the devastating effects of extreme heat, intensifying wildfires.
Okay, who hates when it's warm out? I'm totally okay. If this is global warming, sign me up. It's 75 here every day. It's beautiful.
Just go back to what he said about the police, how close the police are to him.
Close your mouth,
Almost
Joe.
every police group in the nation from every state is supporting Donald J. Trump. Almost every police group.
He's got his mouth open. I gotta look at him.
Yeah.
This is what he looks like. This is what he looks like.
Yeah.
The page is refreshing. Oh!
Oh!
Oh, it's like a flicker. Whoa.
But when they see what I did for criminal justice reform and for the historically black colleges and universities, where I funded them and got them all funded, and the opportunity zones with Tim, as you know, Tim Scott was incredible. He did a great job, great senator from South Carolina. He came to me with the idea.
Joe
It was a
fall
great
asleep?
idea. It's one of the most successful economic development acts ever in the country, opportunity zones. And the biggest beneficiary are
You got to
blacks.
remember,
And
this
that's
is on a
why
2-minute delay.
We have
so
the
like
best
Joe Biden
numbers with
probably
them
picked his
in
nose there and they cut to
maybe
Trump.
ever. They're saying ever. I read this morning where ever, the best numbers.
He's sleeping right now.
He's lost much of the black population because he's done a horrible job for black people. He's also done a horrible job for Hispanics. But wait till you see these millions of people pouring into our country, and they're going to take the jobs, and it's already started, and you haven't seen anything yet. It's a disaster.
You've 38 seconds left, President Trump. Will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
So I want absolutely immaculate clean water, and I want absolutely clean air, and we had it. We had H2O. We had the best numbers ever.
We had the best water.
We were using all forms of energy, all forms, everything. And yet, during my 4 years, I had the best environmental numbers ever. And my top environmental people gave me that statistic just before I walked on the stage, actually.
Nice.
I don't know where the hell he's been. The idea that anything he said is true. I've passed the most extensive climate change legislation in history. We find ourselves, and by the way, black colleges, I came up with $15 billion for HBCUs, historic black universities and colleges, because they don't have the kind of contributors that they have to build these laboratories and the like. Any black student is capable in college of doing any white student can do. They just don't have the money, but now they'll be able to get those jobs in high tech. We're in a situation where the idea that he is claiming to have done something that had the cleanest water, he hadn't done a damn thing for the environment. He pulled out of the Paris Peace Accord, Climate Accord.
I mean, I'd almost rather hear this.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
No way back. The only existential threat to humanity is climate change, and he didn't do a damn thing about it. He wants to do all that he's done.
That's a meme. That's a gif.
The Paris Accord was going to cost us $1 trillion, and China nothing, and Russia nothing, and India nothing.
Look at
it
his
was
face.
a ripoff of the United States. And I ended it because I didn't want to waste that money because they treat us horribly. We were the only ones. It was costing us money. Nobody else was paying into it. And it was a disaster. But everything that he said just now, I'll give you an example. I heard him say before insulin. I'm the one that got the insulin down for the seniors. I took care of the seniors. What he's doing is destroying all of our medical programs because the migrants coming in, they want everybody. And look, I have the biggest heart on the stage, I guarantee you that. And I want to take care of people. But we're destroying our country. They're taking over our schools, our hospitals, and they're going to be taking over Social Security. He is destroying Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
Believe me.
The idea is that we, in fact, we were the only ones of consequence who were not members of the Paris Accord. How can we do anything? We're not able. The United States can't get this under control. One of the largest polluters in the world, number one. We're making significant progress. By 2035, we will have cut pollution in half. We have made significant progress, and we're continuing to make progress. We set up a climate corps for thousands of young people to learn how to deal with climate.
All right, we'll go back to that. There's only so much of this that I could really.
Well, because they're fighting back and forth, but they're both putting their own spin on it.
Yeah.
So,
like every other debate in history.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I know, Trump, it looks good for Trump.
Yeah.
He's not spouting off. He's not going on a wild tangent. He's not breaking the rules. CNN has made this debate clearly siding with Joe Biden and trying to do what's best for him, not Trump. So we'll see. I don't know what if the other one's on Fox News. I don't know the other debate, but CNN, obviously, we know where they lean, and we know where Fox News leans. So
this guy right here is a New Jersey man. He got so ticked off while duking it out in an online video game that he flew to Florida in the middle of the night to bash his rival with a hammer. Edward Kang. He's 20 years old. Hopped on a plane. This article says allegedly. We don't play the allegedly game here on the Ford Show.
he allegedly did this.
Edward Kang hopped on a flight, a red eye, at Newark Liberty International Airport, landed in Jacksonville, booked a hotel room before he showed up at the victim's house at 2 a.m. on a Sunday morning swinging a hammer. Sheriff Bill Leeper said in a briefing on Monday, this is a weird one. Some things make you say, Some things you just can't make up, Leeper told reporters. And there are some things that make you say, what in the world was he thinking? And there are some things that make you say, you're not going to believe this. Well, this case makes you say all four of those, Leeper said. The sheriff said Kang got so angry at the victim while playing the multiplayer. In case you're wondering, what game got this kid so pissed off? It's a game I've never even heard of. Vegas, it's Arch Age.
Never heard of it.
And was ticked off enough that he told his mom he was going to visit a friend in the Sunshine State, and he took off. He checked into a hotel in Florida at 2 a.m. on Friday, and the next day stopped at an Ace Hardware outlet to pick up a hammer and a flashlight. Early Sunday morning, he snuck into the victim's house in Fernandina Beach, dressed in black and wearing a mask and gloves, and attacked his rival with a hammer. The victim's stepfather, reportedly being awakened by screams for help, said he went in to see what was going on, and he found his stepson on the ground struggling with the attacker, who was in possession of a hammer. Leeper said the two restrained Kang until police arrived. He said the victim suffered severe but not life-threatening head wounds, while Kang is being held at the Nassau County Jail on attempted murder and burglary charges. The sheriff said Kang is not cooperating with police. I will not cooperate. When the suspect was asked why he did what he did, the suspect stated that he is a bad person online, talking about the victim. In addition, the suspect asked our deputy, how much time in jail do you get for breaking and entering an assault? I would say, Mr. Kang, it's going to be a long time before you play video games again, said Mr. Leeper. So there's the hammer. There's Mr. Kang. There's the blood. And there's jail time.
Yeah, he'll be released. He'll be released.
You don't play a lot of video games yourself. I do, but I don't play them online. So I don't ever get this angry. Now, back in the day, playing Madden with buddies or playing NBA Live, I get so angry and I bend the controller.
You're going to have a heart attack.
I break the fucking controller in half. I'd do that.
Yep. And then you'd be out another $60 for a new controller.
Not back then. They were only 20.
Oh. Well, and you probably had your mother pay for
But
it.
you get so fucking angry. I get so pissed. I want to break the controller. But I'd never want to beat anybody with a hammer. Imagine.
I want to know how he got this dude's address.
But
Like,
yeah.
did he just say like, "Hey, what's your address?" Or did he like link it via the game? I mean, I don't know. That's weird. That's because
Yeah, he knew right where to go.
yeah, he broke in.
We have some questions that need to be answered.
Yeah.
Yeah, this article does not say how he was able to just show up at this guy's house. If you're listening right now, thank you. We're live on TuneIn. We are live on YouTube. We're live on Rumble. And I think this might be, I turned the chat off on all of it. For those of you on YouTube or those of you on Rumble, there is a chat on Rumble. There's no chat on YouTube because I don't want to have to be responsible. I don't want to have to monitor. I don't have to do any of that. Tune in, obviously, there's no chat. Tune in. This is the way radio was meant to be. And that's what we do here on The Ford Show. We do radio-style broadcasts. It's what we do. So thank you for listening on the TuneIn radio app. Vegas, I guess we should check in with our two candidates to be president.
Yeah, because they're almost done, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's only an hour and a half.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Anybody get fired for allowing 18 million people, many from prisons, many from mental institutions? Did you fire anybody that allowed our country to be destroyed? Joe, our country is being destroyed as you and I sit up here and waste a lot of time on this debate. This shouldn't be a debate. He is the worst president. He just said about me because I said it. But look, he's the worst president in the history of our country. He's destroyed our country. Now all of a sudden he's trying to get a little tough on the border. He came out with a nothing deal, and it reduced it a little bit.
I would have loved if he would have said a nothing
like this
burger.
much. It's insignificant. He wants open borders.
A nothing
He wants our
burger.
country to either be destroyed.
I just noticed you and I both
those
are
people
wearing the
as
same hat
voters.
Yes.
tonight.
And I don't think we just can't let it happen. If he wins this election, our country doesn't have a chance, not even a chance, of coming out of this rut. We probably won't have a country left anymore. That's how bad it is. He's the worst.
No, I don't.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden?
We're
I
the
think.
most admired country in the world.
Well, I don't know about that, but I think what it drives me nuts a little bit, and you know what? It shouldn't, because I host this show, and 90% of the show is hyperbole. But this idea that this is the most important election, if he wins, we're doomed. Honestly, most of our lives don't really change. There's going to be some changes, obviously. Your gas is going to go up by electric. But for the most part, your life is kind of pretty much the same. It's not like one guy gets in and now it's going to be a dictatorship and we're all going to get thrown into camps and, burn the Jews. So it's not, life doesn't really change.
Well,
but
that might happen.
The
Jews might get burnt.
That would be because of Hamas, right?
No, that'd be because of the Palestinian protesters.
That's what I mean. Palestinians, Hamas, it's all the same shit, right?
No, I mean, not technically.
All right.
The question was about what would you do to make childcare more affordable, if you want to take your minute.
Just so you understand, we have polling, we have other things that they rate him the worst because what he's done is so bad. And they rate me, I'll show you, I will show you, and they rate me one of the best. Okay?
Isn't his approval rating horrible?
It's worse than Trump's.
Years, I will be the best. I think I'll be the best.
Why is Biden
Nobody's
laughing?
ever created an economy like us. Nobody ever cut taxes like us.
Let's look it up
He's
right
the only
now.
one I know. He wants to raise your taxes by 4 times. He wants to raise everybody's taxes by 4 times. He wants the Trump tax cuts to expire. So everybody, including the two of you, are going to pay 4 to 5 times. Nobody ever heard of this before. All my life, I'd grow up and I'd see politicians talking about cutting taxes. When we cut taxes, as I said, we did more business. Apple and all these companies, they were bringing money back into our country. The worst president in history by far, and everybody knows it.
So according to 538, Biden's approval rating is 38.1%.
Yeah. That's bad.
His disapproval increased 17.9 points. I don't know what that means. But
yeah, there was something that came out today. There were 3 polls that came out today. I don't know if I can find it, but they were all like likability to non-likability.
Mm-hmm.
And Biden was trailing in every single one of them.
But just 42% of Democrats in Gallup poll are pleased with Biden as nominee. So there was a little rumor going around that if they were going to throw Joe out here and he was going to do so poorly that they were going to replace him. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think it will be Joe Biden at the end. It will not be Gavin Newsom or Kamala Harris.
No. But you have noticed, though, that Kamala Harris, nowhere to be found. Nowhere.
Reuters has Biden's approval rating as of the 17th of June, which was 10 days ago. It's a very important date for Joey Vegas.
Nope.
It's a very important date for O.J. Simpson. 40% approve Mr. Biden. So there you go. So it is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Let's go back here. Jake Tapper.
They need.
To finish up, we now have the largest deficit in the history of our country under this guy. We have the largest deficit with China. He gets paid by China. He's a Manchurian candidate. He gets money from China. So I think he's afraid to deal with them or something. But do you notice he never took out my tariffs because we bring in so much money with the tariffs that I imposed on China. He never took them away. He can't because it's too much money. It's tremendous. And we saved our steel industries, and there was more to come, but he hasn't done that. But he hasn't cut the tariffs because he can't, because it's too much money. But he's got the largest deficit in the history of our country, and he's got the worst situation with China. China's going to own us if you keep allowing them to do what they're doing to us as a country.
Could the deficit thing be because of the dollar?
Destroying our country.
Like how like the inflation, like the dollar, the movement of the dollar. That's got to play a role, right?
I mean, probably a little bit.
Addiction until the COVID came along. We had the 2.5, almost 3 years of like nobody's ever had before, any country in every way. And then we had to get tough, and it was the drugs pouring across the border it started to increase. We got great equipment. We bought the certain dog that's the most incredible thing that you've ever seen, the way they can spot it.
Incredible
we did a
dog.
lot, and we were getting very low numbers, very, very low numbers. Then he came along. The numbers, have you seen the numbers now? It's not only the 18 million people that I believe is even low because the gotaways, they don't even talk about gotaways.
Joe Biden's looking at his team like
the amount of
give me
drugs
something.
and human trafficking in women.
I don't know what I don't know
across
what
our
he's
border.
saying.
The worst thing I've
That's
ever
what
seen.
he looks like. He looks like he's
at
waiting
numbers that
for
nobody's ever seen
somebody
under
to give
him
him
because
answers.
the border's so
'Cause he
bad.
has no idea what he's doing.
But the number of drugs coming across our border now is the largest we've ever had by far.
President Trump, thank you. President Biden?
Fentanyl and the byproducts of fentanyl went down for a while. And I wanted to make sure we use the machinery that can detect fentanyl, these big machines that roll over everything that comes across the border. And it costs a lot of money. That was part of this deal we put together, this bipartisan deal. More fentanyl machines, more be able to detect drugs, more numbers of agents, more
But
numbers
Joe,
of,
if they come over illegally across the border,
and when we had that deal
they're not
done,
going to face
he
this
went and he
drug
called his
sniffing machine.
Republican colleagues said, don't do it. It's
Yeah, I
gonna
guess
hurt
that
you
only
to do
works
it.
if they come legally,
He
right?
never argued it's not
Or
a
at
good
least
deal.
try to
It's a
cross
really
over
good
through a
deal.
checkpoint. Yeah.
We need those machines. We need those machines. And we're coming down very hard in every country in Asia in terms of precursors for fentanyl. And Mexico is working with us to make sure they don't have the technology to be able to put it together. That's what we have to do. We need those machines.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, and again, the question is about Americans in the throes of addiction right now, struggling to get the treatment they need.
Well, this does pertain to it. He ended Remain in Mexico. He ended catch and release. I made it catch and release in Mexico, not catch and release here. We had so many things that we had done, hard negotiations with Mexico, and I got it all for nothing. It's just like when you have a hostage. We always pay $6 billion for a hostage. Every time we say there's a hostage. Now we have a hostage, a Wall Street Journal reporter. I think, a good guy. And he's over there because Putin is laughing at this guy, probably asking for billions of dollars for the reporter. I will have him out very quickly as soon as I take office. Before I take office, I said by literally as soon as I win the election, I will have that reporter out. He should have had him out a long time ago.
That's a promise.
But Putin's probably asking for billions and billions.
Look at Joe. Looks like he doesn't even know what he's talking about.
We had 2 cases where we paid $6 billion for 5 people. I got 58
At least
people
Trump,
out.
Trump knows where the camera is. Trump stares at the camera constantly. Now,
well, he's
obviously,
a camera whore.
What?
He's a camera whore.
Well, I know, but Biden's looking to the side like I am because I have to watch the debate.
At the end of your second term.
He's looking like this.
How do you address concerns about your capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
I spent half my career being criticized being the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest person ever elected to the United States.
It was 1843.
This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less competent. I think that just look at the record. Look at what I've done. Look how I've turned around the horrible situation he left me. As I said, 15 million new jobs, 800,000 manufacturing jobs, more investment in America.
I can't back these numbers up. I don't know if he's telling you the truth or not.
Well, he's not. He's 100% lying because he didn't create any new jobs. We got the jobs back that we lost because of COVID.
Of computer chips,
There's a difference.
40% of the market.
We're still under what we had
chips,
employment-wise,
and we lost it
before
because
COVID.
he was sending people.
So he didn't really gain anything.
To find the cheapest jobs overseas and then bring home a product. So I went to South Korea. I convinced Samsung to invest billions of dollars here in the United States, and guess what? Those fabs they call to build these chips.
Well, what
those
is it?
fabs pay over $100,000. You don't need a college degree for them, and there's billions.
Vegas. I thought he said facts.
Oh my God.
I was like, you can't say that on Fox News or
It's
CNN.
Yeah.
You can't say it on CNN either. Facts
from all over the world.
Watch out.
President Biden, you have 40 seconds left. Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I would. The idea that somehow we are this failing country.
He's not done yet?
I never heard a president talk like this before. We're the envy of the world. Name me a single major country president who wouldn't trade places with the United States of America.
Why would
all our problems and all our
why would you?
We're the most progressive country in the world.
Why would he say that, knowing that
we're the strongest country in the world?
Every 4 years they literally say, "I have to clean up the mess."
Yes.
That you're every 4 years.
Those who he coddles up to, from Kim Jong-un, he sends love letters to, and Putin, etc. They don't want to screw around with us.
Thank you.
That's
Former
funny.
President Trump, to follow up, you
I'll
would
give
be
you that one,
82
Joe.
at the end of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities to serve?
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know.
Believe
we
me.
made it public. He took
No,
none.
they
I'd
made
like
it
to see him
public.
take
Oh, did
one,
they?
just one, a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions. He couldn't do it. But I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams every year. And, you know, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long
His
way.
golf game.
And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a
true.
ball
I
50
mean-
yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm as in good a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
But I'm in as good a shape as I was.
I'll take
years
Trump
ago. I feel
over
I
Biden
feel
any
the same.
day in the
I
cognitive
was
side, for
willing to
sure.
take a cognitive test. And you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced him. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who's a great guy when he was White House doctor. And then I took another one, a similar one. And one of them said they'd never seen anybody ace him.
Thank you. President Biden?
You can see he is 6'5" and only 223 pounds, or 235 pounds. Well, you said 6'4", 200. Well, anyway, that's what anyway, just take a look at what he says he is, and take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. The reason I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. And oh, by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf with you if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest lie. He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap.
I love that they're arguing about their golf game.
Two old white guys arguing about their golf
I've
game.
seen you swing. I know you swing.
Okay, let's
I know you swing.
President Trump, we're going to
21
Let's not act like children.
You
to
are
a
a child.
specific concern that voters have
come
about
on,
you.
Joe. Come on, Joe.
That once all legal challenges have been exhausted, that you will accept the results of this
Oh, here we
election,
go.
regardless
This is
of who
always
wins.
this
Yeah,
question.
And
always.
You will say right now that political violence in any form is unacceptable.
Well, I shouldn't have to say that, but of course I believe that. It's totally unacceptable. And if you would see my statements that I made on Twitter at the time, and also my statement that I made in the Rose Garden, you would say it's one of the strongest statements you've ever seen. In addition to the speech I made in front of, I believe, the largest crowd I've ever spoken to.
He did say to do everything peaceful. If he's referring to J6, that's what we call it in the streets.
And in many cases, were ushered in
J6.
by the police. And as Nancy Pelosi said, it was her responsibility, not mine. She said that loud and clear. But the answer is, if the election is fair, free, and I want that more than anybody.
Can you Vegas? Can you get a truth on that?
What?
Because he said it again about Pelosi. Can you look it up? I gave you the power of the internet right in front of you.
I know.
I wouldn't be under indictment because I wouldn't have been his political opponent, because he indicted me because I was his opponent. I wish he was a great president. I would rather have that. I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here. But the only reason I'm here is he's so bad as a president that I'm going to make America great again. We're going to make America great again. We're a failing nation right now. We're a seriously failing nation. And we're a failing nation because of him. His policies are so bad. His military policies are insane. They're insane. These are wars that will never end with him. He will drive us into World War III, and we're closer to World War III than anybody can imagine. We are very, very close to World War III, and he's driving us there. And Kim Jong-un and President Xi of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all of these, Putin, they don't respect him. They don't fear him. They have nothing going with this gentleman, and he's going to drive us into World War III.
You want a World War III, let him follow and win, and let Putin say, do what you want, NATO. Just do what you want. There's a thing called Article 5. An attack on one is an attack on all.
Did you get? Did you find that Pelosi thing that he keeps referring to? He's referred to it more than once here.
Yeah, she did say,
Yeah.
quote, I take responsibility for the security failures of the Capitol that day.
Okay.
So
he is right then.
He is right.
Okay.
She has said that she takes responsibility.
Yeah.
For the security failures, obviously, but not.
And again, you want to have a war, just let Putin go ahead and take Kyiv, make sure they move on, see what happens in Poland, Hungary, and other places along that border. Then you have a war.
President Trump, as I come back to you for a follow-up, the question was, will you accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins?
Just to finish what he said, if I might, Russia, they took a lot of land from Bush.
He's going to
say
say
a lot of land from Obama and Biden.
He has to say.
They took no land, nothing.
I will accept. He has to.
You have to.
You have to say it.
Because then they could shut up.
Yep. You have to say it. You don't have to stick by it. You don't even have to mean it. But you have to say it.
I don't think he's going to say it.
I think he will.
It's a war that should have never started.
I think he will.
It would have never started
I think he
ever
will.
with me. And he's going to take Ukraine. And, you know, you asked me a question before, would you do this? He's got us in such a bad position right now with Ukraine and Russia, because Ukraine's not winning that war. He said, I will never settle until such time. They're running out of people. They're running out of soldiers. They've lost so many people. It's so sad. They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities with the golden domes that are 1,000 years old, all because of him and stupid decisions. Russia would have never attacked.
President Trump, the question was, will you accept the results of the election, regardless of who wins? Yes or no, please.
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely. I would have much rather accepted these, but the fraud and everything else was ridiculous.
You got to just shut up about
that
fraud.
We'll have a news conference on it in a week, or we'll have another one of these in a week. But I will absolutely, there's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much easier for me to do that than I'm running again. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country. I would be very happy to be someplace else, in a nice location someplace. And again, No
The
indictments.
problem that
no
Trump,
political
the problem
opponent
that Trump
stuff,
has is
because it's the
his
only way he
base is
thinks
going to
he
eat
can
that
win.
up.
But
Yes, if it's
unfortunately,
fair and
driven up
honest,
by numbers
yes,
and
please
driven
say
up
that.
to a very high level.
But then the
because
people that aren't his
understand it.
base
Let's see
need to
what your
hear that he's
numbers
going to
are.
accept it no
This
matter what.
election is over.
Just don't even
Let's
mean it.
see.
Just say it.
You're a whiner. When you lost the first time, you continued, you appealed and appealed to courts all
He did
across the
whine a
country.
lot.
Not one
He
single
did.
court in America said any of your claims had any merit, state or
That's-
local.
I think that's true.
None.
It is true.
But you continue to provoke this lie about somehow there's all this misrepresentation, all this stealing. There is no
Joe
evidence
Biden,
of that
there's
at
no
all.
way in hell you got
And I
81
tell you
million
what,
votes. I'm sorry.
I doubt whether you'll accept
I'm
it
not saying
because
that
you're such
the
a
election
whiner.
was fake and
The
fixed,
idea if you
but
lose
there's
again,
no
you
way that you
accept
got
it
81
anyway.
million.
You can't stand
Something
the
happened
loss.
there.
Something snapped in you when you lost the last time.
We'll be right back with more from the CNN presidential debate, live from Georgia.
So it is in Georgia. Okay. Oh yeah, hot Atlanta.
Yeah.
All right. I think have we heard enough?
Well, I mean, they're going to keep going. I'm assuming it goes till the top of the hour now. I guess 2 hours. I thought it was an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Guess
you
it's 2
thought it
hours.
was. You thought it was almost over.
Well, I assume so because Joe's got to get to bed. It's like 9:30.
That's Joe
10:30.
Biden, not Joey Vegas.
Well, Joey Vegas needs to get to bed too.
Yeah, but it's 7:31 here on the Pacific time zone.
Yeah. Well, when you get up at 5 a.m.
This is the Ford Show. We are live right now on TuneIn, on YouTube, on Rumble. Thank you for being here. Hit the subscribe button, please. What the fuck? Vegas, I want to cover this story here before we leave because it's very rare that I get to all the stories. Okay? And if you're watching, if you're watching... If you're watching this on YouTube or on Rumble, you can watch this show. This in podcast form. This is Teresa Fisher. She longed for a leg up in love. So the model shelled out more than $162,000 on Frankenstein leg lengthening surgeries to become more attractive to her now ex-husband. He said, if you do this for me, I will always love you and carry you in my arms. Fisher, she's 32. She's a reality star from Hamburg, Germany. Told her 150,000 followers on Instagram in a photo series captioned on Sunday. The images feature the formerly 5'5" blonde who's undergone several leg stretching operations since 2016, adding 5.5 inches to her physique. I wish I could add 5.5 inches. Leaving University Hospital in a wheelchair with bandages on her newly elongated limbs. Finally, freedom. Oh, how I have longed for this day. It is the day of days, Fisher cheered. The whole thing is finally coming to an end. I'm glad it's over. Today, I'm 6 feet tall. The pain that I endured for 8 years was so enormous, physical and mental, that you caused yourself, that I cannot even put into words. Are we supposed to feel sorry? We cannot feel sorry. This is an elective surgery.
I know.
You didn't have cancer.
I know. When you put it up, and I was like, ew, and then I was like, oh shit, is she like retarded or something? Like,
yes, she is retarded.
Well, yes, but I mean, like that she couldn't control this, but it turns out she could control this, so I have no remorse for my ill comment.
Yes, she could control this mental retardation. The pain that I endured for 8 years was so enormous, physical and mental, I cannot even put it into words. Fisher is one of the many unpleasantly petite to recently undergo this the stems extending transformation. During the cosmetic procedure, physicians break the femur bones in each of the patient's legs and insert extendable metal nails. I'm going to repeat that. During the cosmetic procedure, physicians break the femur bones in each of a patient's legs and insert extendable metal nails. The nails are gradually extended over the next 3 months by 1 millimeter a day, eventually making the recovered patient several inches taller.
No thanks.
Short guys worldwide have recently opted for this costly op, hoping to stag some more honeys. All my life, I struggle with viewing myself as a small person. No matter what I did to change, I always felt the same. Denzel Siggers.
Wait, what?
Denzel Siggers,
Oh, gosh.
27.
Making sure you didn't say the other word.
The Atlanta native spent over $81,000 on a leg augmentation in 2023, cranking him up from a measly 5'6" to a towering 6 feet tall. He's cheating. I'm 6 feet tall and I did it the right way. This is like the guys in the home run race. I didn't cheat. I wasn't on steroids. This guy's cheating.
Yeah, I wasn't on steroids. I just corked my bat. Sammy Sosa.
Limb lengthening gave me the opportunity to change my life.
For the worse.
He enjoys lots of luck with the ladies now due to his new altitude and the way I perceive life as a whole. Moses Gibson, he's 41. He's had more dates since coughing up $170,000 for 2 limb lengthening surgeries. And an influencer, Jefferson Casio from Bogota, Colombia, said his $175,000 procedures helped him overcome a complex about his once 5'8" height. See, Vegas, if I would have extended my limbs, I could have probably played pro basketball.
No, you couldn't have. You wouldn't have passed the physical.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry, you can't have broken bones.
I'll give you that one.
You can't have broken bones and metal rods that you just crank up to get taller. Sorry, I don't think that's allowed in the NBA.
No.
Sorry to crush your dreams, but
Crushed.
Maybe try something else.
I'm going to save our Bikers for Gays prank call until next week. I'm going to save that. Trump's back on. Is this still it? Am I still on here?
Or Hamas or Hezbollah for terror, no money whatsoever. Again, Ukraine should have never happened. He talks about all this stuff, but he didn't do it. For 3.5 years, we're living in hell. We have the Palestinians and we have everybody else rioting all over the place. You talk about Charlottesville. This is 100 times Charlottesville, 1,000 times. The whole country is exploding because of you, because they don't respect you, and they have to respect their president, and they don't respect you throughout the world.
Is he cutting the final promo here?
One of them.
It was incredible.
It sounds like it.
We rebuilt the military. We got the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history. The reason he's got jobs is because I cut the regulations that gave jobs, but he's putting a lot of those regulations back on. All of the things that we've done, nobody's never seen anything like. Even from a medical standpoint, right to try, where we can try space-age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get when you're terminally ill. Now you can go and you can get something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years. But you know what we did for the military was incredible. Choice for our soldiers, where our soldiers, instead of waiting for 3 months to see a doctor, can go out and get themselves fixed up and readied up and take care of themselves, and they're living. And that's why I had the highest approval rating in the history of the VA. So all of these things, we're in a failing nation, but it's not going to be failing anymore. We're going to make it great again.
There it is.
Thank you, former President Trump, President Biden.
They've been calling her.
Stay with us because we have full analysis of this debate. Anderson Cooper and Aaron Burnett starts now on CNN.
Yeah, because Trump had the last word.
That was it. Yep. Trump had the last word. And there you go. There's the end of the first presidential debate. Do we have a date for the second one?
No, I don't know if we do or not.
All right. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I didn't hear abortion. Now, I know we didn't hear the whole thing, but I'm assuming that was brought up.
You would figure that they would play the hits tonight.
Yes.
All right, next week we got a full show. I don't know what we're gonna do, but it'll be a full show, and we'll be taking your calls across the country now. We have a new phone line, 855-499-FORD next week. For Madness, who left early. For Joey Vegas, who did not. I'm Ford, and we'll see you guys next week right here on the Ford Show. We'll be back to normal next week. No presidential debate. And we'll be back with the normal Ford Show. Hopefully you enjoyed our coverage of the first debate for Vegas and Madness. I'm Ford. We'll see you guys next week right here on the Ford Show.
Good night, jabroni marks without a life that don't know if it's a work when you work a work and work yourself into a shoot. Marks.
See ya!